Horns Up, Talking, Texas, podcast, Fisher, Snacks Crider. Red McCombs, unfortunately passed away.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. He lived a long life.
Yes, he did.
Owned the Spurs a few times as well. Business school's named after him. Also owned the Nuggies. So shout out to him. Shout out to his family.
And all that he's done for our university.
Yeah. So R.I.P. to a Texas Longhorn legend. We spoke about us going to the SEC a little bit officially in 2024. Our beloved Longhorn Network will cease to exist, and we will just join the SEC network.
It'll fold into it.
Sorry.
So I think there'll be like Longhorn Network like games
in the SEC.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I feel a little bit better about that.
Yeah.
I would have been like it would have.
It's all ESPN, so
yeah, it's all one family. But I like that we have our own, Longhorn Network still, even though it is like ESPN, obviously.
I like it, but I do believe that ever since Longhorn Network launched, we've had very mediocre seasons in basketball and football. So it's always been attributed, kind of on the back end of things to Longhorn Network, kind of like a karma thing.
Oh, so like us putting forth that we're better than
right. We have our own network. We're the only college,
network.
football team.
That's gone.
Yeah.
That you think
the college football gods didn't like it.
Do you agree with that?
No, because that's hooey, and I don't believe in that. But
you're not a big hooey guy.
I'm not a big hooey guy. I like to see the proof in the pudding. Show me the analytics on why.
Show me a good pudding, honestly.
Show me a good pudding.
Yeah.
Tapioca.
Okay, yeah. I don't hate that either. So we're going to keep Longhorn Network, but within the SEC network. I feel a lot better about that. There was talk, people asked Del Conte about alternate unis.
And he was definitively saying no.
Which I'm all for that.
You're for no or you're for the unis?
I'm for no. I like our unis.
I love our unis. I think our unis are awesome. I think they're very classic and they are staple within college football. I mean, the Longhorn logo is one of the most recognizable brands.
It's probably the most recognized logo in college sports.
Sure. Yeah. But look, I'd love to see a alternate once a year uniform, like, I don't know, maybe a black. I think the black's always been thrown out there.
The black's been thrown out there. The script and the cream, kind of like what the basketball team does, is pretty exciting.
That's cool. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. But I'm also very cool with us not entering to the level of like the Oregon Ducks where,
No.
a lot of their unis are good, but some of their unis are just garbage for the sake of just like throwing the uni out there.
Why is, like, I get the pink is like a tribute to breast cancer, but like they use the pink a lot outside of just that.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of become their moniker. But yeah, I think for us, it's not an instance where like you're throwing out an alternate uni like 3 times a year, right? Where it's different every time. I think it's like one alternate uniform, like what kind of OU does. They have the one alternate uniform, the red and black.
Yeah.
And you rock it on, a game where you need a little extra confidence.
TCU with the blood. With the blood.
They even have a lot more alternates than we do.
They have that. They do. I mean, I'm cool with like, look, we have the burnt orange in our favor.
It's not going to happen because as long as Del Conte's here, he said no chance.
Such a unique look too, and such a unique color. And it's like it is like home to Texas.
But like, what would you want our unis to look like?
If we were having an alternate,
yeah,
I like the all black uniforms,
like black top.
Okay, but like. I'd be interested in a full-on like blackout.
Black on black.
Black on black on black.
I don't know if that's
with the burnt orange.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd be curious to see what it looked like.
Well, good thing there's a lot of different artists out there that mock up unis and
like someone was like AI, a lot of AI, and someone was like, "Damn, AI is like a really good artist now that he's retired from the NBA."
Yeah, he's crushing it.
But yeah, I would be intrigued to see it. But I'm full on, like, I love us keeping our uniforms. Don't need to see a change in the uniforms. And that to me is very exciting.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I know we play Iowa State tonight in basketball. We'll hit on that tomorrow. We have Ricky Williams coming on the next show, which is very exciting. Joining us in Quan. I do want to say in the OU game, while less than ideal that they sent it to overtime, and there were certain parts, especially at the end of the game, like we were all texting like, hey, like, 6 seconds left, like, foul them so they don't get a chance to get a 3 off, call a timeout at the end of that possession or the beginning of that possession to draw up a play. mismanaging the clock, mismanaging the end of the game led us to OT. All that being said, and granted, they could have tipped it in and they missed a tip in at the end, but to me, in our time as Texas Longhorns, that's a game we'd lose.
Yeah, it just, looking back at the history for sure, we also were losing almost the entire game. Mm-hmm. It was a comeback win for us.
Yes.
So, well, look, we know that OU's at the bottom of the Big 12 right now, but we also know that there's that added effect of the rivalry that always comes into play. Mm-hmm. OU's always going to play us better than they're playing anyone else.
And they're good. I don't think OU's look, are they going to make the tournament at this point? Probably not. That was a pivotal game for them.
They had to make that. It was a must win.
That was a must win.
There's only 4 games left in the season, and I don't know if they can, like, they're sub 500 right now.
There's that they're going to need a miracle, like, hey, we win the Big 12 tournament.
That will solidify it, but they're not going to win it.
No.
I mean, they've got 3 wins right now in the conference.
And us, like, we head in, like, we're a half game back from Kansas. We play. We still have 1 game at home against them.
You want that regular season title.
Yes.
As the Big 12 champion. You also want to win the tournament, of course. Mm-hmm. But I think the biggest thing here is just not dropping too many games because you want to keep that 2 seed locked in play.
Which we're at right now.
Which we're at right now. But I think if we lose 2 games, we can drop to the 3. Look, it's very doable that we lose 2 games. I mean, we've got 4 ranked opponents coming up. It's honestly conceivable that we lose 4 games, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I actually don't. I'll push back a little bit because I don't mind us dropping to a 3. I would love to avoid Kansas and Houston in any kind of the bracket. If I'm going to, like, right now the 1 seeds are what? Houston, Kansas, Purdue, and Alabama.
Yep.
Brandon Miller is apparently involved in like a murder that went down with one of his teammates.
Yeah.
He's involved in some capacity. Is he going to play it? Probably, but he may not. So we'll see how the NCAA, who's notoriously very harsh on players, comes down.
Pending 30 for 30.
Yeah. Pending their involvement there. So to me, Purdue is dangerous but beatable. We had a decent showing against them last year in the 20, and then they lost Jaden Ivey. No shot against any of their other players, but I think it's a much more doable game. I think Kansas is tough. We've seen them, and I think Houston's a very tough team, and I'd like to avoid them. So if we drop to a 3 seed, but we were an upper end 3 seed, and we ended up playing a Bama or Purdue, I'd be cool with that. But again, you want to go in as a 2 seed. It's
sure.
something we haven't seen our team do, and we're a half game out of the Big 12. I mean, it would have been really nice for TCU to beat Kansas last night.
Well, look, I think yes, you want to avoid those teams, but if you're trying to make a deep run in the tournament, you got to get lucky, but you just got to take care of your own business. And if you're the 2 seed, you're not going to play those teams until the Elite 8?
Yeah. So again, talking about putting the cart before the horse. But good news from you to me about the SEC network, but not losing Longhorn Network. I like that. And basketball, again, it's 1 game at a time. Take care of business against Iowa State tonight.
Yeah, look, I've been proud of these guys, seriously. They've dealt with a lot of adversity all year long. Coach Terry's done a great job getting them in order and everything. I mean, everyone's really just taking care of business, in terms of what they're able to do. Serge Rice has obviously been like a huge highlight and sensation for us. I honestly didn't realize he was a grad transfer.
Yeah.
I knew that he was a transfer, but he's a senior. It's like, has that guy never shined? Where was he at? New Mexico State?
Yeah. Oh, that's why he's not shined. But
you step up to a big university like Texas and this is the best you've ever played in your career. And you're looking like, one of the best players in the nation.
Yeah. I mean, he's towards the top. He's top 15 in threes. He's come off the bench too.
Yeah.
So his minutes are less than a lot of
6th man of the year for sure.
6th man of the year for sure. He's transfer of the year, arguably. 6th man of the year, arguably. I mean, he's averaging 12 points off the bench. Was he our second leading scorer?
I think Carr's our leading scorer.
Carr's definitely our leading scorer. I was just making sure he's our second. Because I'm looking at all the Big 12 stats right now. I mean, Carr's 3 points off the pace of Jalen Wilson, who'll probably be Big 10 player of the year. Big 12 player of the year.
I'm glad Carr stayed because he definitely played himself into a draft pick next year.
I mean,
I don't know if he would have gotten drafted, and now I think he's going to be at least a second rounder.
Yeah, I can't really argue against. I mean, I think he'll get a shot in the NBA at least sometime.
Right, and you always say as well, guys shine in the tournament sometimes that just rise to the occasion and raise their stock so much more because, look, these NBA scouts and GMs want to see how you play in the big moment. Mm-hmm. They want to see how you play against the top teams in the nation, and if you're going to be able to showcase that on a grand level to the rest of the world on national TV when everyone's watching, then look, you're about to raise your stock here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, he's top 7 in assists. He's top 5 in this in the Big 12 points. He's top 7 in steals. Again, he's shooting 38% from 3. He's had a really strong
handles.
season. Yeah, he'll be a top 5 finisher and Big 12 Player of the Year. But Serge Ibaka, him, Timmy Allen's come on strong. I know we were a little disappointed with him at the start, but he's been a huge facilitator on offense for us.
Sure.
And even Dylan Dessou is like
Stepped it up.
So really exciting stuff. We got to take care of business against the Cyclones tonight, and we'll see you guys next time with Quan, Toss, and Ricky Williams. Get your horns up.